day. Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor took their verbal jabs to the stage here in LA yesterday for the first stop on their world tour. It was the first time both fighters were face-to-face, and it didn't disappoint. Let's take a listen.
He's in a tracksuit. He can't even afford a suit anymore. The roses are 2012 outside. He is There's no other way about it. His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm gonna knock him out inside 4 rounds, mark my words.
Yeah, we knew I was the A side. That's why I say Mayweather first. We knew I was the A side. That's why this had to come to the boxing ring. Let me show you what a $100 million fighter look like. Still got $100 million, and then he never touched this.
Shannon?
What $100 million look like?
Does he just sign the check over to the
What
IRS?
was that?
Or?
I know. Where did that come from?
Get holding it, keeping it on ice.
Is he just taunting the IRS?
Yeah,
that's some
what we
dangerous
do. Don't
business.
worry about it.
Huh?
They gonna get their money.
Oh, they are?
What
is it, 22
When I give
million?
it to them.
When you give it to them?
When I give it to them.
Oh, okay.
It's so nice of you to pay Floyd's taxes.
You know what the IRS did? They sent me an audit one time. I sent a picture of a check back. That's what you want. You ain't gonna get it till I give it to you. Now run tell that.
Well,
And then,
run
you
tell.
immediately ran to the post
Yeah,
office.
yeah,
and got
yeah.
it.
Run tell 22 million that you owe?
He got it.
22 million? How do you get away with that? Going from 2015 to 2017, you still owe $22 million?
And guess what? He gonna back that Brinks truck up to T-Mobile, and not only is he gonna give him the $22 million in cash, he gonna drop off another 50.
Who won the press conference, Shannon?
Floyd! First round goes to Floyd. Both guys were very comfortable in this environment. You can tell they've been here before. And Conor was, come out to his music, Sinead O'Connor, dressed to the nine. Now, I probably could have done without the pinstripe with the, the FU and the pinstripe, but a nice chalk line, but the suit was nice.
Hundreds of little FUs all through. That's if you had to look closely, but when Floyd, he got a close look at those FUs, right?
And he was trying to, he came out there, and then Floyd came out doing his thing and was standing there, and Conor was doing all this dancing, and Floyd, you can't faze me. And so I thought Floyd won the first round. Both guys were comfortable. But here's the first rule of trash talking, Skip. Know your weaknesses, know what they're probably going to use, and already have a retort on standby. That's how you do it, Skip. And he knew he was going to bring up his tax you can't afford a suit now, track suit, and you got no money, you broke. That money, hey, got a person have that money bag. You know what's in there, don't you, Skip? I knew it good. I tweeted it. I said, Floyd gonna bring that money bag out. They were crocodile too. Woo! Bag probably cost $4,000. Nah, $25,000. Brought that check out of there. $100 million, so many zeros, Skip. Had so many zeros, they had to write the zeros on the back. You know how you're writing, and the zeros go around to the back. I like, good God Almighty, Floyd.
Is that a real check?
Yeah, it's a real check.
Okay.
Ain't no publisher's clearinghouse big fat check that you can't cash. You can take that to the bank right now and make the bank bounce.
Yeah.
$100 million. Ooh, I said, good God Almighty, Floyd. Look, here's the thing, Skip. If you were on the fence about possibly buying this fight, you're no longer on that fence. Because I thought Conor was doing his brash bravado. I'm going to knock him out. He's a small man, small head, small core, little legs. I bounce heads off the canvas. All that was really good. And even Floyd. Now, Floyd is normally respectful. And if you give him respect, he'll show you respect. But you know Floyd's a counterpuncher. You throw something at him, he throws something back. That's the way it works. Because see, here's the thing, Skip. And people are like, well, how are you able to come back with something so quick? And you gotten on me, Skip, and you know what, Skip? I've listened to you. I've been better. On Twitter now, I don't respond to trolls.
Good.
But let me tell you, when
Seeing the light.
I saw the light. I said, Skip say don't do this. And I'm listening to Skip. Because I'm going to bust him up tomorrow. So I've listened to it. But what trolls would try to do to me, Skip, they would jump on my timeline for like 5 to 10 seconds and try to insult me. But what they
incite you.
Yeah.
And you would fall for it.
But what they didn't understand, Skip, why they take 5 to 10 seconds, I've been thinking of a reply for 40 years. That's why I can just how you think of that quick? Because I've been waiting. Because, see, I know where my strengths and weaknesses lie. So I just got all the little horse jokes you want to make, all the little, you can't speak, you talk like you from Africa, all that. I get it. I just be waiting to press send. I got a bunch of them stored up, 1,000. I'm on number 8. I'm just waiting to press send. But, Skip, you know what happened. Floyd won. Now, Conor likely got in a little trouble, Skip. You know, Floyd was out there mimicking him, and he was dancing around. And Conor was like, dance, boy, dance, boy. And he caught
himself.
He caught himself. Son.
He did.
And I
caught that.
I think
you know what? He paid some respect there, I thought. I mean, he was like, wait a second.
You can't say that.
There.
I think that's why they cut his mic. Because you remember before, when Floyd would say something and look at him, Conor could respond. And then after he said that, he no longer had a live mic. So, but other than that, Skip, I loved it. I loved it, Skip. And you're going to be there. We're going to be there. We're going to be there. And Floyd said he going to whip it. Floyd said he going to knock. I ain't never heard Floyd say he going to knock somebody out. He said he going to knock Conor McGregor out.
Knock that B out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He called Conor McGregor the word that Draymond called LeBron that helped get Draymond suspended for Game 5 2 years ago.
He should have called Conor McGregor a garden utensil.
Boy, that was cross.
Yeah, that's what he should have called him. What he gonna do? He gonna be in a fight on the 26th anyway. What he gonna do? Get madder?
So that was the laugh out loud for me. Was I'm gonna knock this B out.
Knock him out.
Because I have to reiterate the fact that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not knocked anyone out in a boxing ring, maybe somewhere else, I don't know, but in a boxing ring, in a real fight, since May the 22nd of 1999, the immortal Justin Juuko, Juuko, went down thanks to Money's mighty fist.
So you consider a knockout, so the stoppage
I'm talking about a KO, not a TKO, and not a sucker punch that we saw Ruiz take.
What about Hatton?
It's a TKO.
That
doesn't count. No.
It goes on his resume as a knockout.
But I'm talking about a KO. The guy's knocked out. He said, I'm going to knock this B out.
TKO, KO, it doesn't matter.
Couldn't knock me out.
Out. He just means OUWT on the end.
41 years of age. So, as usual, I must have been watching a different press conference than you watched because, I don't know, I was watching the FS2 feed.
I was watching it too.
It was uncensored, you know, like
I love it.
I think you were watching ESPN News. It was a censored version.
No,
10-second delay.
I want to hear curse. I want to hear everything.
You know, I heard everything, and I saw it very differently because I saw Conor McGregor do exactly what I told you yesterday he would do. He got right under Floyd's skin, and he got right in his head because he went right for the throat. A little quick insult about the tracksuit. He took one little shot at the IRS issue. Then he let it go after that. And to his credit, he said afterwards, that's really nothing to joke about. It was just a quick little shot. But then he went right for the throat, and he said, I will knock him out inside 4 rounds. He didn't predict a 4th-round knockout. He said inside of 4 rounds. Could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. Boom! He said so matter-of-factly. It didn't come across like some, hyped-up trash talk, some pre-fight hype. And it really stung Floyd because he immediately started to play out of character. Usually, Floyd in these press sessions is way too cool to stoop to engaging in this kind of trash talk with whatever opponent of the moment is because he just knows Floyd's attitude is always, I don't have to tell you what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to you. But yesterday, Floyd Mayweather Jr., as I told you would happen, played completely out of character because Conor McGregor hit all kinds of buttons. Floyd was spewing profanity right from the start, and guess what? He got authentically, legitimately, right before your very eyes, angry. That button got pushed. He was mad because he got insulted, starting with the tracksuit, going all the way to little head, little torso, little legs, all true. And the shock to me
when
was
did Conor McGregor become Andre the Giant?
You know what? He looked like Andre the Giant
didn't.
up against, you know what? Was he not just ripping out of that new suit of his? That FU suit of his?
Oh, you proud of that?
Hey, I loved it because, man, the chest is spilling out. That man is ripped. And he looks so much bigger, so much longer, so much stronger than little tiny, going on 41-year-old Floyd Mayweather Jr. I felt sorry for Floyd in the face-to-face. And, you know, Floyd said when it was over, there was some sort of poignant admissions from Floyd after when he did his solo press session. He's asked, what did you see when you looked into Conor's eyes in the face-to-face, the face-off, the square-off at the first? And I thought he'd say, I saw fear. That's what Floyd would usually scoff and say. He said, I saw a warrior. Because he did. He saw a warrior. He saw a guy who, I told you, he's just a little nuts. He doesn't play by our rules. He's liable to say or do anything at any moment. And he pushed so many buttons so quickly that Floyd backed himself right into a corner, and we're going to discuss this in depth in a few minutes. But Floyd said, hey, you want to fight with 8-ounce gloves or 4-ounce gloves? I'm like, what? He just said 4-ounce. It came out of his mouth. Obviously, it's scheduled for 10. I think the contract says 10. I think the rules say 10 because if you, as Floyd said afterward in his solo press session, if you move up from 147 to 154, the rules say 10-ounce gloves in boxing. Well, this is kind of a hybrid boxing match, so I don't know if the rules really apply.
They do.
So what Floyd said, he went right on the record afterwards. He said, hey, if he wants to fight 4-ounce, I'll fight 4-ounce. And I can't wait for that. But that's how far Floyd got pushed, how quickly, by Conor McGregor, who's just a natural at this. This is not Floyd's game. He was fighting a fight he couldn't win against a guy he can't beat in this kind of scenario. And McGregor said afterwards, I wasn't even prepared. I didn't know we were going to do it this way because usually in a UFC, you've been to several of those, you've asked questions at them. It's usually the two combatants are up there, you know, with referees between them, and you just take questions from the audience, right? Joy Taylor asks a question, and they respond, they kind of go back and forth. Well, this is all of a sudden live mic. Here, you go first, Conor. Here's the microphone. You have to, like, make a speech. And he's just off the top of his head. So I think he will be much better prepared for his speech today in, where are they, Toronto.
Yeah.
So, to me...
You always let women have the mic first.
Are you resorting to that too?
I'm just saying, well, that's why Floyd let him go first.
Oh, wow. You're backpedaling too.
No,
you're that desperate.
No,
you have to reach for that.
And I'm gonna have me a suit made with pinstripe that says "Bus Skipper."
Bus Skipper. You know, you are the perfect reflection of Floyd Mayweather because everything I just said pushed all the wrong buttons in you.
Hold on.
You have to stoop for that line.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, Skip.
He got you too.
He also stood up there and says somebody has to go. Conor McGregor, your left a long time ago. We saw Nate Diaz, what he did to you. Made you holler Red Rock.
Yeah, but what did Floyd admit afterwards when he was more rational?
What?
He said, yeah, he went down twice, but there were submissions because it became wrestling. He said, when Conor stands, Conor can box.
But hold on. You make it seem like when he was standing, Nate Diaz was not touching him.
Yeah.
Diaz, excuse me. Nate Diaz wasn't touching him. If Nate Diaz can touch him, I promise you, Floyd can put hands on him.
Yeah, as Conor said, Nate Diaz by fight time probably weighed 200 pounds and was so much longer and bigger. And
don't worry about it. Floyd ain't gonna weigh. Floyd's gonna be so. Look, Floyd's not gonna weigh but probably 150 pounds on fight night. But don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You saw Friday, the first one. Debo was crazy, yanking everybody chain, stealing Red's Beach Cruiser.
That's fiction.
And what Craig do to it?
It didn't really happen.
And what Craig do?
It's a script.
And what's gonna make this so?
There's not a Debo. He's not.
Conor McGregor is Debo.
Okay.
But you know what's gonna happen, Skip?
Oh, you're admitting he's the big bad wolf?
And
wow.
That's Craig. Mm-hmm. And what is smoke? Whip his you know what,
You know
Craig?
what? I'm glad you went there because that was my final takeaway from what I witnessed. Floyd came across as like the desperate challenger while Conor handled himself with the aura of the supremely confident favorite in the fight. That's how it came across to me.
Whose name is first? Mayweather.
The A side is Conor McGregor. Whose fans took over the press conference yesterday
They
at
don't understand
Staples?
about no-
Whose fans?
Because you know, let me
Whose
tell you-
fans? Wait, is Conor McGregor from here?
No.
Wait, is he
No.
American? No, he's not
No.
American. Is Floyd?
And-
Floyd's American, isn't he?
Yeah, and look.
Wasn't he born in
Floyd,
Grand Rapids?
Floyd had the
What?
red, white, and blue on. He was trying to, but he knows.
didn't work.
He knows when he goes into the ring, he's not gonna have the support that Floyd has really never had the support. But guess what, Skip? Only thing that matters is when you get into that square, is you. See, I love playing on the road. You know why? Because I love sending your fans home sad. I love it. Oh, the Broncos or the Ravens make me sick. That Shannon Sharpe, he make me sick. I love it.
You know, speaking of sadness, there were these painfully poignant moments from Floyd in his solo session in which he readily admitted, I think he did this in the joint session,
Yeah.
but that, you know, he says, I'm not the fighter I was 20 years ago or even 2 years ago. And then he talked about how much he hates training camp and how he will never, ever do this again, like have to get ready
Yeah,
for a
because he's about
fight.
to make 400.
You know why? He's retired in his mind. He's been retired for 2 years, and this is hard on him. He seemed weary to me yesterday in the solo session. At one point, he's just rubbing his eyes like, God, this is wearing me out because I'm having to get ready to go through this one more time that I wasn't ready for, but I have to because I need the money. The most dangerous reason to fight somebody is because you need the money. He didn't want to do this.
He started fighting because he needed a way out. So whether he needs a way out or he needs the money.
You want to talk about needing a way out? In 2013, Conor McGregor was still cashing welfare checks. You want to talk about coming from poverty? Let's go to Ireland first.
Well, we're gonna take him out of poverty because we're gonna give him a check at the end of this night for taking this butt cutting for about $1.25. Now Floyd gonna make 400. But you like Sade? You remember that song Joy? When she says, "You're not the man, but I still love you." Floyd Mayweather said, "I'm not the man 20 or 10 or 15, not even 2, but I can beat this female dog."
God.
That's what he said.
What an insult. You better be careful with that.
He don't want to
Hey,
see
you are rattling the wrong cage here.
Hey, I keep telling you. Now, when it comes to this, I tell everybody, Muhammad Ali invented trash talking. I perfected it.
Okay.
Now,
I hadn't noticed that on this show,
yeah,
but that's okay.
this lip sparring, Skip.
Final line from Conor
10-time
yesterday that I
champion.
loved was he told Floyd Sr., who we think is going to be on our show today, right? We think he's going to be here. He's scheduled to be here. But he told Floyd Sr., I'm going to put your son to sleep, but he will wake up a better man, as in humbled. So Conor has big perspective on what's about to happen.
Take the 125 and go on back to Ireland and be happy.
Well, the fans were definitely on McGregor's side yesterday.